Hi there, this is the Stoke Stoner. I just thought I'd do a little kind of podcast kind of video about, just the whole E3 and Bethesda's conference at E3 because I'm a big Bethesda fan and I'm joined here by SamsoniteGuiterman, so yeah.
Hello, I'm SamsoniteGuiterman, the guy who hasn't uploaded a video in God knows how long.
Yes, you need to do something with your life, man. You're doing. But
hey, I am doing something with my life. I'm counting the cracks in my ceiling.
yeah.
It's immersive.
Immersive game. Crack ceiling simulator. Anyway, but yeah, we're going to go over a few points. We're going to talk about what Bethesda talked about in their press conference at E3 and just about what games are coming out, you know what I mean? I mean, we've got the resident authority on Skyrim in the house right now, so everything's all good.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. But yeah, first game that they came out and introduced was Quake, which I am absolutely fucking amazed about. And hopefully it's just gonna be like Doom, where they like redo Quake and it's gonna be just so good. But yeah,
The last Quake game I played was Unreal Tournament 3, so I'm not really a good authority on this game.
I guess it's kind of like Quake, but same as Quake. Its premise is the same.
Or it's called Quake.
Well, yeah.
So I'm guessing it'll be similar.
Yeah,
Stuff.
But yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot to say about Quake other than what's already been said. Quake is Quake, it's one of them games. It's a battle arena. It's fast paced. It's a bit like Doom. You go around, shoot people. It's about as much as could be said about Quake. So anyway, let's move on to the Fallout 4 DLC.
So at Bethesda's conference, they've announced 3 new DLC. One is a Summon Workshop one. The other one is one where you can build your own vault, and another one where it's a completely new map, Nuka World.
That looks good.
It looks very good. From what I can tell from first, what's the word now?
Impressions.
First impressions, it's an amusement park for Nuka-Cola, obviously.
Yeah.
But it seems to be one massive raider base, because you see raiders all over the place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks there's a bit more to it than meets the eye, because obviously at the end of the trailer there are 2 bullet holes and stuff. So
well, yeah,
might be like a New Vegas again, but like not as new. You know what I mean? Where it's a bit factions are split. And stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But have you seen how massive it is? Like,
yeah, it looks huge.
It does that establishing shot, and it looks fucking massive.
It looks huge, doesn't it? It looks like it basically looks like if you've took the whole entire city bit of Boston and maybe a bit more, and then just stuck that in one map of its own with its own stuff. It looks quite big. I don't know if it will be as big as Far Harbor though, because Far Harbor looks huge. I haven't even played Far Harbor yet. It's terrible. Well, you're talking about Fallout 4 DLC.
That's what I'm thinking. I think Far Harbor will be bigger than Nuka World.
I'm sure it will.
Plus, judging by the price tag, I'm guessing there'll be less stuff in Nuka World, because I've looked on Steam Store earlier, and Nuka World is about £5 cheaper.
Is it?
So
it might just
whether that reflects.
I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't mean that the story is going to be lacking, and it's just going to be more about the fact that you might get certain objects that you can have in your settlements, and that's it. I mean.
As far as Nuka World goes, it's DLC.
Yeah,
an expansion pack size. Map.
I hope.
So I'm guessing
it's a good one.
Well, if it's a last DLC, as was confirmed by Todd Howard, I'm hoping their story will be a good one.
I mean, Far Harbor, from what I've heard, was great, and it was even better than Fallout 4. Apparently, the whole branching storylines, the narrative choices that you've got to make and stuff were a lot better.
I'll be honest, in my opinion, that's not really too hard to do, because in my opinion, the base game for Fallout 4, the actual story didn't quite. It was quite lacking. It didn't quite hit home for me.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I will say this: when I was first playing the Fallout, first playthrough, and that, I was getting a bit bored at first doing the whole Concord shit. But then when I did, I must admit, when I got to Diamond City, spoilers. I don't know why I'm saying spoilers. Because
it's been nearly a year since it was released.
But you got to, aren't you? Anyway, spoilers, right? You get to Diamond City, you find out that Nick Valentine's gone missing. The guy who you need to talk to about the detective stuff, and you don't know who Nick Valentine is, and then when you go and find out
he's
who
basically
he is
a robot Sherlock
and his
Holmes
character, I mean, I must admit that brightened Fallout up a lot. For
I loved
It
that.
was great.
The detective cases.
Character.
The detective cases I loved.
Some of them are good.
You can initiate Sherlock Holmes mode.
The first one's really bad. Like the first detective case you do when you've done.
Which one was that?
Really bad. It's that whole. I'm sure it's someone's daughter or something that's gone missing. But you find out that I can't remember something like that.
I think I remember.
It's a bit bad. It's around Diamond City. You just walk around Diamond City for a bit, and you've done it, and it's like what?
It's not exactly Witcher 3.
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, exactly. It's not. You can't use your sensors, your Witcher sensors to find out where the footprints have gone and all that.
Instead you have to use your quest markers.
Yeah. I mean, what would have been way better is if they'd just done the whole fact of having no quest markers. You have to work the fucker out yourself. I mean, they did it within it, but they should have done it from the first detective
Definitely.
case.
That's what I feel was really lacking. The game like held your hand pretty much all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I felt the detective cases were lacking as well. There weren't enough detective cases, and it wasn't.
There's only 4 of them, I think. Is there? Is there more? I'm sure I've only.
Well, I'm not sure because it's been a while since I've played it. I think there was only like 2 or 3. But Far Harbor added another one.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole fact. That's what Far Harbor is, isn't it? It's the fact that you.
It's just another detective case.
But it's a good one. I'll give it that.
I know
the whole new area in Far Harbor and
that's the thing.
Settlements. And they're pretty good.
The detective cases, I feel that was a missed opportunity for Bethesda because that could have been amazing.
That could have been really good.
And I feel like they just didn't execute it as they should have done.
That would have been if they'd have made it very good. Like you had to really use your head to work stuff out. You know what I mean? A bit more puzzly and a bit more less hold your hand, more kind of this is you've got to find out where this person is or what this is by using proper clues rather than you find a clue and it gives you a quest location for the next clue and then you find that clue and then it gives you another location. Like they did it with the Freedom Road. That's the thing that gets me. They did it with the whole Freedom Trail. They told you to follow the Freedom Trail, you did, but what they didn't tell you is that you had to pick up all them different numbers and the letters. I know you could have just looked it up online, but at first I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay away from online and just try and work it out myself, and I did, and it was easy. I must admit, it wasn't like the most brain-wrecking of things, but it was
to be
good.
honest, I found it very easy. I wasn't even particularly paying attention to the markers. Just
exactly.
The faction is railroad. I wonder what the password will be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could have had it as something else. Like it'd have been a lot better if they'd have done it something else instead of it being railroad.
More puzzles.
There's more puzzles, Bethesda. Come on.
You
need to get on Zelda's book. Take a leaf out of Zelda's book. You need some puzzles in there. Keep us thinking.
But yeah, as far as Nuka World is concerned, it looks good, but they haven't really let on many details.
Yeah,
but
no, that's the thing. I like it when they do that because it keeps you guessing. I hope some fucker don't leak it. You know what I mean? I don't mind leaks; they're all right. But
anyway, on to the workshop. The new Settlement DLC. What's it called?
There's the Vault-Tec one, and is it Constructions or Contraptions?
Contraptions, that's it. So Contraptions, they've added more stuff to settlements because we all like our settlements. Here, let me mark it on your map.
Yeah. All right, Preston, calm down. We don't need none of your shit.
Get to work, boy. Get to work.
Oh, I swear down, first playthrough. Do you know the thing is, on the first playthrough, no one expects it though. He starts giving you it, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. After the 15th one, you're like,
4 hours
come on now, Preston.
4 hours later, come on, Preston, get your shit together.
I'm sure they can sort themselves out now. I really don't need to go back and fucking kill a load of super mutants for them again.
I've been kind and given them 2 tourists. Is that not enough?
Random generated quests are always alright, but at least to fucking do something better than go and kill this person.
That's the thing. It's
waste these people and
like Skyrim. It's constant fetch quests.
I know. Come on, Bethesda. We know you can do more, right? We know you can do more. So please do more. And what's with the bugs? Can we have a game that's bug free from you? Like Doom isn't even that bad. You've managed to do it with Doom. Well, can you do it with things as well?
I think I know the reason for that. It's the creation engine. It's seriously outdated. Yes, they've updated it so it works with 64-bit systems, but it still
doesn't work with 64-bit systems though.
It does.
It says it does, and it does to an extent.
Well, that's the thing. As far as glitches and bugs go, it's nowhere near as bad as it was when Scan was first released. Yeah. In fact, as far as first releases go, Fallout 4 is actually very good.
Well, yeah. I mean,
go on.
Like as far as games go, I mean, it's not the greatest Fallout game, as in just base. Game.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a good game in its own right. It's a good Fallout game, but it's not the best Fallout game.
I'd say it's like Marmite. You either like it or you don't like it. But as you rightly say, it's by all means it's a good game. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it's a brilliant game. But for Fallout, it's not a very good entry.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I felt once I've got two characters, they're both at level 40 odd. I could have been probably level 90 odd character if I'd stick with the one, but I got bored. And that's the thing. Like, when I played Fallout 3, I got one of my characters up to level 70 odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I played the shit out of that game. And I can honestly say I've probably done everything there is to do in Fallout 3 twice. In Fallout 4, however, I do one playthrough, get to level 40, and it still feels... I know I haven't done everything.
It feels exactly the same, even though there's more than one ending.
Exactly. And yeah, but the thing is with the endings, it's just a cutscene, and all it does is it tells you that you went with that faction and that, you know, and what happens when you go with that faction, which is just, I mean, come on Bethesda, come on, you could have done better than that.
Anyway,
you had 8 years to make this game, you could have done better than that.
Anyway, back to the Contraption DLC.
We're losing touch.
It's touch and go here, isn't it? Yeah, for this one they're adding elevators and conveyor belts, and they're adding
the elevators.
Yep. So I forgot what I was about to say. Thing is, elevators were added in a mod already.
Yeah, I know, but I'm a console, you're on PC, so for me, I'm on the PS4, I've got Creation Kit,
Yeah, but that's a good point, actually. There's also conveyor belts, and there's also some stocks, so you can finally put Marcy Long in them and Chuck Teddy
Preston. I hope you can put Preston in the stocks, because if you can, he's fucking staying there.
Well, he's an essential character, isn't he?
Oh,
so
I hope they do though. I hope you can. Please, Bethesda. Please,
Todd. I can just imagine.
Just do it.
Him in the stocks. Having teddy bears dropping on him. Exactly. You go up to him and say, There's another segment that needs your help as teddy bears on his head.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll mark it on your map.
That'd be great. I need to see that. Please. Like if they must have done. I mean, come on. If you have spent if they haven't lived under a rock for the best part of a year, like they know how people feel about Preston Garvey.
Yeah.
So they've got to. They're gonna have to let you put him in stocks.
Well, they've shown Mama Murphy in it, and I think she's an important NPC.
She can die, can't she?
Can she?
Yeah, she can. Like if you spoilers again. If you decide to take her off the chems, she doesn't. She actually becomes a settler then, as in you can like order her to do stuff. You know, you can assign her to objects.
She can do that anywhere.
No, that's the thing. You know, if she's on the drugs, she always sits in the chair. She doesn't do anything but sit in that chair.
Oh right.
And then if you keep feeding her drugs, she dies eventually. So you can kill her, and Preston just falls out here completely.
I see no downside to that.
I don't. Exactly. Sorry, Mama, but you know, Preston's a dick.
Right.
If he won't leave me alone.
He kept on showing all these settlements to us.
I'm sick of all these points on my map. Anyway,
on to the Build Your Own Vault DLC.
Now that looks good. I like that.
Yes,
that looks quite good.
I agree. It looks very good.
It's like Fallout Shelter, but in Fallout. You know?
Yeah,
that's quite. I like that.
I think that's what they were going for.
I hope so.
However, I don't think it will be well received by some players for one simple reason. Well, mainly PC players for one reason. There's already a mod on Nexus that allows you to do that. So there'll be some players, PC predominantly, that'll that may
they just won't.
Not they may not like
they'll
it.
probably just get the new cool. But that's the thing. At least, I mean, if you've got the season pass, then
I have the season pass.
then you just access to everything. But
yeah.
If like me, you haven't got. I didn't get the season pass for the simple fact that I don't like. I knew they'd be releasing these kind of DLCs that are just going to be packs that I might not necessarily want. So
yeah, if you didn't get the season pass, then and you really want that Vault one, then the problem solved.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I do think that it's going to dip. Like I will say this: like mods are buggy. Not all. Some of them are greatly made, but mods are buggy.
That's the thing. Before the creation kit comes out, there were loads of mods before then. Yeah. True, some of them were buggy, but with the creation kit out, it'll be
a lot easier for people.
They have all the necessary tools to make it good.
For me,
there will still be bugs, but
for me, I always find that when it's from the developers, it's usually better than the mods. Like not saying modders are shit, because there's some stuff that modders make that's just fantastic. And then there's some fucking pervy modders out there. Let's say.
I mean, well, for me, there's loads of Skyrim mods. I have loads of them, and they just make the game better.
Oh yeah.
I've shown you that
completely agree with
that convenient horses mod.
Exactly, that's great. I like that. That's brilliant. And the I do like the idea of the tent mod, but it could have been done better. But obviously, you're limited when you're a modder to what you can do.
Yeah, you're limited by the tools you can use and the software. So for Skyrim, there was a 4 GB limit, and it was 32-bit.
Exactly.
Now with the special edition, it's now 64-bit. So
make it a lot easier.
So from my understanding, you should be able to go beyond the 4 gig mark.
It'll be good, and I mean the mods will be a lot more higher quality, obviously.
Definitely,
especially now because within the PC world, everything's getting better and better constantly, so they're going to have to keep up with this. I mean, Bethesda's not always been one of them companies that does, because let's face it, they're not exactly the forefront in hardware and software.
No, definitely not.
They make good games. I mean, you can't deny that Bethesda make good games. Like they make solid games.
They make really good games.
Exactly. And RPG wise, they're not traditional RPGs.
Not traditional, not traditional. No.
Their take on an RPG is fantastic. It's really immersive. Like and, it completely drags you into a game. Like,
well, as for Solid, well, that's kind of subject to opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Solid as far as textures go. I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't even go as far as textures, because as I was talking to you earlier about it in Fallout 4, because the textures, from what I understand, are bloated, so they cause performance issues. So again, like I said, Solid is. It depends on your opinion, really.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I do as in quality of say, I don't know, voice acting and storylines and just not gameplay. Bethesda kind of nail it. Like the environmental storytelling wise and just bringing you into that. Like when you play Skyrim, you're in Skyrim. You know,
definitely.
I mean? When you play Fallout, you're in a post-apocalyptic wasteland America.
If there's one thing they're very good at, they're very good at making their open world games come to life.
Yeah, like,
story-wise, not so much, but they can make the worlds they create come to life, and the lore. That's
the lore they create that goes along with that is just second to none. Like, look at Sky. I mean, look at Elder Scrolls as a whole. The lore of that is its own universe. You know, it's its own story, and it's right. Like, it's just mental. Like that kind of stuff that Bethesda are capable of is great.
Yeah.
But in regards to gameplay, they could do better.
Speaking of Elder Scrolls, let's move on to our next entry, which is Skyrim Special Edition.
Oh.
Right, now, as Joe may have said earlier, I am the what's the word again?
I can't remember.
Authority.
House authority. That's it.
Yeah. Right, the Skyrim Special Edition. This will be more of an upgrade to console players mainly.
Yeah.
Mainly due to the fact that mods are coming to it, and the fact that it's a visual upgrade that goes onto the next gen systems.
Although I reckon they will have probably put new mechanics in there and stuff like that.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? It can't just.
I'm hoping they have.
Can't just be an aesthetic upgrade. It'll have to be a mechanical upgrade as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping they update the mechanics, but again, I'm not too sure, because many remasters don't handle the mechanics.
I don't think it'll run in 60 FPS though. At all.
What makes you say that? Oh, the fact that Fallout 4 is
it just doesn't. No Bethesda game ever has. Well, now anyway, you know what I mean? I mean on PC maybe, but that depends on your PC. Like if someone's got a really high-end PC, then it's obviously going to run at 60 FPS.
Even on my PC, which is extremely high-end, Fallout 4...
Not to blow his own trumpet or anything. Ha ha!
They can't see my hair.
I don't care about you with your hat.
Whipping me with my hat because they can't see shit.
I don't care.
Warm.
Anyway, as I was saying, even on Fallout 4 on my PC, it drops to like 20 FPS in the city areas.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it will be the same for Skyrim in the city areas.
That's just you. Earlier with Fallout, I've had some tragic frame rate. I've had like literally 3 frames per second before. Like it doesn't last long, but it's annoying. Like, especially mid-battle, and the next thing, everything's fucking... You're like, oh no, what we're doing?
But yeah, and it'll be a definite upgrade for PlayStation 4 because the original Skyrim for PlayStation 3 had a horrendous release.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it still is terrible. It crashes. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. The game's fine, but the way it works on a PlayStation 3 is just awful. Like, a PlayStation 3 was awful anyway. So were the Xbox 360. They were consoles. You know what I mean? Like, at least now with an Xbox One and a PS4, I mean, no, they're not high-end PCs, but they can run like a medium-end PC or a small-end PC would run a game.
I'd say medium-end, yeah.
Like, they can run decent games that look good, and they can run them and keep them looking good. It's not a tragic, but Skyrim on the PS3. The amount of times that thing crashed on me and just bailed out and just couldn't handle the textures and just couldn't handle the scope and the draw distance was terrible on a PS3. On a PC, you could see for miles. On a PS3, my God,
you could see for miles on a PC, but God, the textures look awful from a distance.
Yeah, I mean it is an old engine. That is the engine
exactly.
Priority.
And what's been rumored is that the Skyrim Special Edition is something to keep the Elder Scrolls fans going until their next entry, Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean. And as fucking Skyrim remaster, let's face it, can only mean one thing. Where's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who are we gonna play as? Well, that's up to us, isn't it? Who's going to be in it? What factions are going to be there? What's going to be the story? It's going to be great. Is it going to be before or after Skyrim? I reckon before. They can't go after, really.
Well, I'm not sure because from Elder Scrolls onwards, it's kind of been like going
progression upwards
chronologically.
Except for Elder Scrolls Online, that's 1,000 years before Skyrim.
Yeah, but we don't count that.
It isn't made by Bethesda.
I mean, it's a good Elder Scrolls game, but it's not part of the series as such. But which leads to another rumor that the next Elder Scrolls may well be on a brand new engine, which is brilliant. Because if they make a new engine, it won't be outdated, so much less.
If we're thinking about it, they forefronted Fallout on the old engine, so the only next move would be to forefront Elder Scrolls on the newer engine. You know what I mean? Like, they gave Fallout its respect, and I'll give them that. They really did. Like, Bethesda really did give Fallout the respect it deserves. And like, when they announced that last year and all that stuff, the fans said it all. You know what I mean? Everyone was so excited for Fallout 4. And granted, it was a bit of a letdown in some aspects, but in other aspects, it really did. Like,
the only reason it was a kind of a letdown for all of us, really, was because like it's the hype train, really. Yeah. The amount of hype, because we waited so long for it. Like,
and as soon as we heard it could have been fucking fantastic, absolutely amazing. It would have still been the same because we've waited so long for a Fallout game. They can't do everything, you know what I mean? And if they did do everything, they're not ever going to be able to do another Fallout game again because they're not going to be able to do anything more. You know, like So we gotta give them some credit. They did do Fallout justice. They really did. I can't say they didn't in regards like that. If you think about Fallout 4, it's a Fallout game. And if you think about... Anyway, we're not talking about Fallout.
We're talking about Skyrim here.
But, yeah.
Anyway, back to the subject. The remaster. The remaster. The biggest news as far as that's concerned is mod support for consoles.
Well, yeah, because Creation Kit's coming out now. So that will open up a lot more doors. But I guess the more exciting aspect of seeing a remaster is the fact to know that there's going to be a new Elder Scrolls along the way somewhere. Hopefully within the next couple of years. Hopefully next year. I hope it's next year, but I can see it being 2018 before we see a new Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, definitely. Right, that as far as I'm concerned, that's all, we can really say.
We could talk about the Legends stuff that they're doing, the whole card game thing, but I don't know a lot about that. I'm not. I don't really play.
I know next to nothing about
card games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not.
Where we come from, we play Gwent.
Shall we? Yeah. So we can talk about Witcher, I guess, but there's not really a lot except the Blood and Wine new DLC. We could have that.
Well, that's
it's
kind of
CD
already
Project Red. It's not really Bethesda, but it's linked.
Well,
it's kind of like Skyrim.
It's already been released, so it's not really much point talking about it.
Catch up talking it really. It's not much point.
What
you play Witcher more than me? Just a quick summary of how you feel the new DLCs for The Witcher are. Great.
It's in fact I told you this earlier. They've released a DLC as like a whole game, and that's brilliant. And the story I absolutely loved. I mean, there's so much you can do with it.
It's beautiful,
and it looks. It's absolutely
so nice,
amazing,
gorgeous, absolutely love.
However,
I will say this: I'm not
a
I'm not a massive Witcher fan. Not through the sake of it being a bad game, just I don't like some mechanics in the game, and it's not my kind of game. Like I like RPGs where you are the character rather than you play as a character, but like
the actual role playing.
Yeah, I like to play my role rather than play the role of someone else. Although yes, you have control over.
Well, that's the thing. Aren't you technically doing that in Fallout 4 with the voice protagonist?
Yeah, but you get to choose who you are, what factions you follow. You know what I mean? Like, as much as there is a voice there, it's still your decision. Like, but I will say this about the new Blood and Wine DLC. Having seen what it looks like alone, I've seen the story. I've watched my girlfriend play it and stuff, so I've seen the story. I've watched the story through and seen her play it, and it's a good story. It's a really good story, and it's a lot more action packed than the actual game was. And like, but just the way it looks alone has genuinely made me want to play The Witcher. Like, and for me, I'd rather just do the game and then do both the DLCs afterwards. But you can, and the good thing they've done is you can enter the
DLC straight away with the gear and the level you need.
Which is great. That's a cool thing. That's a good aspect because some people might, have not done it yet.
Blood and Wine. What they've done is, and whether or not it's likable or not is again subjective to opinion. The fourth wall has collapsed in Blood and Wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I must admit, some of them fourth wall jokes are just cringy. Like the fact of finding the note with the DLC. I mean, come on, CD Projekt Red. Jesus Christ, man, that's just bad. It's just bad. It's not even funny. You look at it and just go, oh, DLC, ho. Jesus. And a couple of the names in there are questionable. Well, who's that guy with the glasses? What is it? What's his name where you meet? He's kind of plump with the big glasses, and it's like
you're gonna have to be a bit more specific than that.
I'm trying to remember the mission that it's involved in. It's towards the beginning. Brussels something
with glasses.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And he's like a bloody character.
I can guess he's a character, but
no, I mean like he's named after a really well-known TV show, and I can't remember his name now. Brussels Faulty or something like that. And
Brussels Faulty?
Yeah, there's this guy you meet in it. He's got glasses on, he's right mad, and he's like, he's called Brussels Faulty something or other, and it's basically just a pun on Faulty Towers.
Yeah, I guess that when it was faulty.
It's bad. It's just bad. CD Projekt Red, you have no sense of humour, don't use it. just don't use it.
Right, the biggest bit where the fourth wall collapsed was at the end, but that
Geralt, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but that bit I can understand because that's the last.
It's not.
I can
it's the last part of him in it. It's his end of story.
Exactly, that's the thing. That's the end of his story because that's the last Witcher game. That bit I can understand. It's like he's saying goodbye to us as an audience.
But then there's all the conspiracy theorists that are out there like, oh my god, he looked at the camera. Who are we?
Illuminati!
Who are we as the audience? What do we do? What aspect are we? Was we really Yennefer? Was we really Triss? What is going on? What is life? Get over it. He looked at the camera to say goodbye. Okay, it meant nothing. He only did it as an acknowledgement of the fact of you playing the game.
Hold on a minute.
The game, putting a good 200 hours into The Witcher. So he looked at you and went, "Thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed yourself because I did."
Okay, a question: was there actually conspiracy theories surrounding
Yes.
that?
There was.
Are you kidding?
There was fan theories.
Well,
all of the fan theories of why he looked at the camera and who you was in his life and what you represented to him.
Sounds like something from Tumblr.
It was
sounds like some Tumblr.
Oh yeah, it was very Tumblified. Don't worry. Like there's a lot of Reddit and Tumblr shit going down there. I mean, Reddit not so bad. Reddit's but Tumblr. Fuck me. I don't know what you're on, but whatever it is, can I have some? No, in fact, I'm alright. I'd rather
You're
not.
already on it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, come on. It was just he looked at the camera. That so what, man? There's a lot of games that do it. Mass Effect do it. You know, come on. Even let's
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Let's look at the Mass Effect Andromeda trailer. He turns round, or she, depends on who you play. I know. Like turns round as they're walking away, stares at you, like looks at the camera and walks away. I mean, come on, everyone's done it. It's nothing big. Anyway, right. Moving on. There's Prey, which now I don't know if you know a lot about, but I do.
I definitely don't.
Prey is a really fucking good game, and like I thought this game was done. Like it's been a while since there's been a Prey game, and it looks fantastic. It looks like it's a very interesting game.
I haven't actually seen the E3 coverage of Prey, so I can't really say a lot about it.
I can, if you want, I could get a little summary up right now of Prey for you.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure you can do that for me because you've been watching the conference.
Well, yeah. Basically, the idea. I mean, it's a tough game to put your nails on. They haven't really given away a lot yet. They've literally just it's been a bit of a teaser trailer that they've done for it. Really, they haven't really said a lot else. Yeah, but basically, Prey looks like it's going to be a game that follows a certain guy. It looks like he's having to like the idea of a Prey game. It's a bit BioShock-ish. It's a bit out there. Like
I really like BioShock. Yeah, I'll say that.
So you like Prey? It's a bit.
You know, you like BioShock. You must like Prey as well.
Did you ever play Darkness? That game a while ago, where you kind of play as a demon. I think it is. I can't remember. I just remember. I know I played the game.
I haven't actually heard.
You play as the bad guy, basically, in it. And
I haven't actually heard of the Darkness.
It's quite a good game. It's a very old game. Well, it's not old, but it was on PS3. But it was one of the earlier releases on PS3. It was a good game. It was decent. There was a few. It had a couple of sequels actually. I don't know how many. I'm sure there was Darkness and Darkness 2 and the Darkness 3, and I think it kind of just died out after that. But basically, you had these certain powers, and you played as the bad guy for once, rather than playing as the good guy. You was evil in it, and the more evil you were, the more powers you got, and stuff like that. Like the more people you killed, the more power you got, and it was really good. It was a bit like Have you ever played Castlevania?
Yes.
It's a bit like that. It was a bit like that, where the more destruction you caused, the more power you got, and stuff like that. So, I think Prey's going to kind of take that route. It looks a bit like it anyway. Like he looks like he's having these certain things happen to him. I mean, I think everyone thought it was going to be Prey 2. If you ever saw that whole Prey 2 thing, the whole advert for Prey 2, what Bethesda was doing, where it was going to be like a.
I haven't really folled Prey, so I won't have seen it.
Well, he was going to be like a futuristic bounty hunter. Imagine Boba Fett, but without dying in a pit.
or getting killed by Samus Aran
twice. Okay.
Or Boba Fett fanboys will be angry at that.
Yeah, sorry guys, but
I'm sorry, but Samus Aran beat his ass twice.
I know. Twice. Come on, guys.
Twice. Come on, Boba Fett. Get your
shit together, man. Like, and to be fair, in the fucking first 3 films, he had like 4 lines of dialogue, and one of them was "ah." So yeah, so it's a bit terrible, really. But the idea of there was this whole thing called Prey 2 that everyone went mad on, and you were going to be like this bounty hunter in set in a futuristic setting, but it isn't that. I don't think it's Prey, as in that Prey. It's something else. It looks good. I've heard a bit about it, and from the look of it, you look like you play as a mix between a character from the Darkness, where you have these certain powers by I don't know if you're evil or good, and BioShock. So it's kind of. I don't know where to go with that one, but it looks kind of good.
Have they revealed any details at their conference?
Not really. They basically just showed a little teaser trailer of it, and that was it. It was very quick, kind of. This is Prey. What do you think? Goodbye.
They haven't really released a lot of details as far as their games go.
Yeah. Well, it's because I reckon they're going to save it for QuakeCon, because they do that all the time. But that's been a staple of Bethesda for a while, so...
It has,
and now
but a big event
taking on Quake, as in the whole game that inspired QuakeCon as it is,
yeah, but that's the thing. E3 is huge.
It's the biggest gaming.
It's the biggest
event of year. It is the biggest.
It's the biggest. So I'm surprised that they don't do it at E3.
Well, I think it's just a Bethesda thing, because they've been so within QuakeCon all these years. That's where their home base has kind of been. That's where they've done most of their press conference and stuff before they did their E3 one back when Fallout 4 came out, and that they were at QuakeCon all the time. And now that they own kind of half own the IP Quake, I reckon they're going to reveal a lot more of their stuff, a lot more of Prey there, and a lot more of Quake. Definitely a lot more of Quake there.
Definitely, yeah.
A lot more of the Doom DLC as well.
Speaking of Doom DLC, So then, at the E3 conference, Bethesda has announced some new DLC for Doom, and I think this DLC is purely for multiplayer.
No, there is a couple. I think there is some stuff for the single player as well that they've done.
Yeah,
but I think it's just weapons and stuff and a new loadout for you.
But
mostly multiplayer.
Mostly multiplayer. Where
there's two different.
They've
Capture the Flag. And then a more
deathmatch,
more kind of traditional deathmatch kind of thing.
But they're introducing the new maps. So it's technically a map pack. And that's a bit.
That's not good, Bethesda. Come on, you can't do a Call of Duty.
You can't do an Activision.
Don't do an Activision. Don't do it.
So their DLC for Doom is
Doom,
it's like
Doom. I haven't played it yet. I want to get it. A few friends of mine have played it. I've got a few feedback. Apparently the multiplayer is fantastic. It's really a lot of fun. But I haven't heard anything about the campaign yet. But from what I have heard about the campaign, other than the story, I haven't heard anything about the story. I don't know about that yet, and I'm not going to go into that anyway because it's a new game. Let's face it. But
yeah,
I've heard it's a lot more like the traditional Doom, where it's a lot more fast paced and a lot more brutal.
The map pack DLC. I think the best way to describe it is questionable. Like releasing pretty much a map pack.
I'll say this: if these maps are huge and they're plentiful, then I can understand, I guess. But I'm still no. Bethesda, don't.
It's like
don't do it again. If you're gonna release maps, just let people, because you've just split the whole player base in half already.
Exactly. That'll be splitting the player base, and not only that, surely those maps could have been in the full release when it was first released.
I mean, I understand in a sense of if you're doing a game, let's face it, the developers didn't make these maps to start off with. These have been made afterwards. And
if that's the case, then I understand. Yeah, but it's been quite soon after their first release, so that makes me wonder if they were already in the works before the release.
I know, exactly. And if they are taking in what people are saying, though, if it's what they're doing is they've released the full game, they've took back feedback on what people have already said about the multiplayer maps, and these new maps that they're releasing are better. You know what I mean? And they've took feedback, then that's understandable.
Yeah,
I get that.
That I completely understand, but again, as I said earlier, it's still a bit questionable, sketchy. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from Doom DLC, we're back. We're on to Dishonored 2.
Now we're talking. Now we are talking.
We're definitely talking.
Because Dishonored was a fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic. Like, the gameplay and the story, nailed it with both. And wow, Arcane, you killed it. You really did. In a good way.
Definitely in a good way. And so, will Dishonored 2 live up to?
I hope so.
Live up to
it looks like
what the first Dishonored did.
It looks like it.
Judging from their conference and from what we've seen of the actual game, it's looking like that may well be the case.
It looks like
but we thought the same with Fallout 4.
We did.
But
Fallout 4's Bethesda Games Studios, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is Arcane,
so it'll be very different.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. You can tell the people that are making Dishonored. Like, let's face it, it's going to happen to all game devs where if you've been doing a certain franchise for so long, you lose heart in it. You know what I mean? And I guess with Fallout, they're losing heart in Fallout, and it's going to happen.
It's another reason why I'm hoping Obsidian will get back into it and make another Fallout game, because I loved New Vegas.
I'm sure. Let's face it. What did they do while they were making Skyrim? They made New Vegas. And New Vegas was made by Obsidian. They gave Obsidian the IP to do that.
Well, Bethesda Game Studios were at the time still. I think they were on pre-production of Fallout 4.
Oh yeah. They were still working on Fallout 4 as well, weren't they? So yeah,
they've been working on it before the Skyrim release.
Yeah, they were Skyrim, they were Fallout 4, they were busy.
They were very busy.
So Obsidian got the chance, and I reckon
I'm hoping they get the chance again.
They will do, because if they're doing this remaster, then that obviously means only one thing, and they're obviously going to be working on the next installment of Fallout as well. So I reckon Obsidian are going to get more of a chance than they did with. Because the only other thing that they've done is Elder Scrolls Online.
Well,
so
if Obsidian do make another Fallout, I'm really hoping they get the dialogue. I'm really hoping they restore it to what it was like in the early games and not the simplified stuff that was in Fallout 4.
I mean, I didn't even mind that. Like, I didn't mind that so much if it was voiced, but if you got the chance to see what you was going to say, even. Like, I don't give a shit about the character being voiced. That does not bother me whatsoever. I'm fine with that. But what did bother me is whenever you were being sarcastic, all you got was sarcastic. Now, I want to know what I'm saying when I'm being sarcastic, because I will always want to go for the sarcastic option. It's just in me how I play. But it's great. And I must admit, I will say this, though. Like, in defense of that weapons wheel, just for that sarcastic part, sometimes that not knowing impacted me more on the thing that's said, because especially with the sarcastic option, for some of them, like for instance the robot in Diamond City, I forgot the name, and all it says is Namastane, right? That's the only thing that you say. But if you have the sarcastic option, it goes tell me a joke, and it goes Namastane, and I didn't expect that at all. And when I did it and it said it, I was absolutely crying for a good few minutes. I was laughing at that, and I guess I understand that in the sarcastic value of it, because if you already know what the joke is, then you're not going to laugh. You know what I mean? But if you don't know what the joke is, and suddenly that joke is there thrusted upon you, it's just, the only problem is with the whole fact of not knowing with other tree lines. Like with
that's a thing.
Influential decisions. Like, obviously the sarcastic option is not going to affect much. You're just going to be sarcastic and you're thrown with the same options again. But it just gives you a quick summary of what's said, and
that reminds me of something I've seen which pretty much summed up the Fallout 4 dialogue, because in like the previous Fallout games you had an array of dialogue options you could choose. In Fallout 4, I've seen a picture of this. There's like 4 options. There's yes, and then there's no in brackets yes. Then there's sarcastic, which can sometimes mean yes. And then there's what was the other one? There was don't know. I think, was it don't know?
Yeah, don't know.
In brackets, yes.
Yeah, it is a bit like
pretty much three out of the 4 options, or even all the options are yes. Yeah. It gives you no choice.
Yeah, I know that is the thing. Like with the story, they have really emphasized the story in Fallout 4.
They've emphasized it a lot more than they have in the dialogue.
Yeah, the whole point of Fallout is there is no story. You make your own story. You don't like me. I think I got to getting dog meat to pick up where, what's his name is, fucking the guy who steals Sean. You know what I mean? Bounty hunter guy, bald. Kellogg, that's it. Kellogg's cornflake.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
Fucking cornflake face. Like it.
Hey,
I got to the point of killing
the scar
him.
on his face. That was from a cornflake.
I got to the point of killing him and the Brotherhood coming into town, rolling in. Fuck Sean. That were it. At that point, at that point, I was like, "Fuck Sean." There's the Brotherhood. Hi guys, how you doing? Do you know that power armor? Yeah. Just.
Do you like my bloody huge laser?
Yeah. See that power armor? I think I might steal that in a minute.
See up.
Yeah. See that, and that's another thing, right? I liked being a dickhead, and I liked being told I was being a dickhead. All right. Now I can be a dickhead, and don't matter. I just know I'm being a dickhead. There's no point if I'm just knowing I'm being. I know I'm going to be a dickhead. I want them to know I'm being a dickhead, and they don't know I'm being a dickhead, and it's annoying.
And that
no karma system.
Exactly.
That's
and that's the thing. That's what the karma system
even,
was. That's what made Fallout beautiful. The karma system.
And even like when you had, especially when New Vegas, within that karma system, how you acted and what you did depended on how people viewed you. Now that was a Fallout statement and always has been since Fallout 1, since the beginning.
Definitely.
Like, in Fallout, if you was an arsehole, people knew you was an arsehole and treat you like an arsehole. And I liked being an arsehole, right?
And it's been that way all the way up to like New Vegas, because in Fallout 3,
Skyrim, even
Skyrim,
in Elder Scrolls,
like Witch Hunters,
Skyrim, you can be an arsehole and people treat you like an arsehole. I'll say this every time in Skyrim, right? I kill people. I don't ask questions. I kill people. Yeah, I will walk into a bar and I will stab the fucker in the face before they say, "Would you like a room to rent?" And I'll stab the fucker and go sleep in the bedroom. That's how I play games. That's how I am. That's just how I like to play. Is I am an arsehole, right? And I like to know that I'm being an arsehole. I like people to recognise the fact of me being a dickhead and stay away from me for it. Alright? Why in Fallout, why the fuck do you think I bring dog meat along with me? Because I can't be arsed with some cocky cunt stood next to me going, "Why do you need to take that with you? It's only junk." Fuck you, alright? Before I shove this spanner up your arse, comment on my fucking doings and what I do and don't do. Fuck off, back to fucking wherever you came. Anyway,
back to Dishonored 2.
I haven't even said about it yet. Right. No, yeah, Dishonored's going to be great. I already know. Like, I think as well, what they've said is that the area, like Dunwall for the first Dishonored, was a fairly big place.
Imagine how big the second one
exactly.
Might be.
This is what I mean. They've said it's going to be a lot more bigger. There's going to be a lot more variety in what you do, and guards are going to be able to do parkour as well. So you're going to be, it's going to be good because you're going to have to proper think. Because if you fuck up and they start chasing you, there's no getting away.
You die.
Yeah, exactly. There's not. You're either going to have to be as stealthy as possible or fight your way through because you're going to get seen and you're going to have to fight. And there's no way of getting away from fighting in this. And like, for me, I felt that the Dishonored, although, yeah, when you played on the harder setting, when you played on the hardest setting, them fucking AI were ridiculous, right? They could see you from behind the fucking... But it were great. It were a lot, make the things so challenging, and I love that in a game. I love to be challenged in a game, like especially stealth games. Like you want to know you're being stealthy in a stealth game. Like, this is the thing, Assassin's Creed is supposed to be a stealth game, but I can play that shit with one eye closed, having a drink on the internet. Like, that's not stealth. Dishonored is stealth, and it really is it's pure stealth.
It's a thoroughbred.
Exactly, it is pedigree, and like, it was such a good story as well. Like, it was brand new, it was fresh, there was nothing like Dishonored when Dishonored came out. I mean, yeah, there's been touches of stuff like it in the past, but nothing like Dishonored. And now that Dishonored 2, I can't wait to see what Emily's doing, can't wait to see what... And fucking Corvo's voiced, which is a whole new thing, which is going to be great, because you're going to actually be... Like, and that's a good thing, I love that they did that, because when you played as Corvo for the first time, you got a chance to just understand him from a storytelling, like, from
a storytelling point of view.
Yeah, from a storytelling point of view, where you are looking at the story. You know, you're a third party of this. You're viewing it through Corvo's eyes. Yeah, and Corvo's not going to be saying a lot at this time anyway. I mean, come on, he's just had his fucking wife killed. Well, it's not his wife, but his lover.
He's a stealthy psychopath.
His lover killed and his daughter's been kidnapped. You know what I mean? And so he's going to be pissed.
He's basically a stealthy psychopath with a mission to get his daughter back.
Exactly. So he's basically taken.
Yeah, I was about to say it's basically taken.
Yeah, he's Liam Neeson, right? Corvo is Liam Neeson.
I will find you. No, what was the full line?
What is it? I will find you and I will kill you.
No, it's like I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Or what do you want? Is it I don't have money?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But what I do have are a very specific set of skills. Yeah. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
It's true.
I will find you. I will hunt you. Is it I will hunt you?
No. Yeah, it might be. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Sure, I will hunt you and I will kill you. I don't actually remember
the full line. We understood. We know where you're coming from, Sam. We know it. We all know. We all know. It's Liam Neeson doing his badass Liam Neeson thing.
Unless people haven't seen Taken.
Yeah, then don't watch it. It's not that great. It's all right.
Hey, it's all right. I've learned what the T stands for in Taken.
What?
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it. Yeah. And then
I've also found out what the T stands for in Taken 3.
Yeah, Taken 3.
Don't make it.
Is there a third one? Give up. Just don't go. Just stop.
It stands for don't make it.
No, it stands for, dude, you need to really do something about your fucking daughter and your wife and whoever else gets. Because when it is daughter, then it was his wife, then it was his daughter again or something. Like, I can't remember. Anyway.
What kind of man leaves his wife and daughter to be kidnapped more than once?
I know.
More than once.
Like his daughter gets kidnapped, and then his fucking wife. You think after his daughter getting kidnapped, he might have thought, "Oh, let's move house." You know, at least. Oh no! Don't give a shit. This one. He's like, "No, I'm badass. I don't fucking."
Oh no, my wife has now been kidnapped.
Yeah, I will find you.
I will find
and
you.
I will kill you again. Again. All right. Anyway, Dishonored 2. Liam Neeson, Corvo, fucking.
There's really a lot more to say about Dishonored 2, is there?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's Emily going to be like? Because this is the thing. This is the cool thing about Dishonored. If you played Dishonored, and this ain't no spoilers. Let's face it. We've all played Dishonored to be excited about Dishonored 2. Anyone who hasn't played Dishonored right now, just turn it off for a little bit. You might want to. I don't know where to skip to, but just it's the last.
Just put an annotation. Yeah. There'll be an annotation somewhere on screen.
They probably won't, because I can't be asked to do shit like that. There'll
be
something in the description.
Lazy.
There'll be a tag in the description, right? There you go. But yeah, right. If you play Dishonored and kill everyone, then Emily turns out this really sick, sadistic fucking bitch, basically. Like, she turns out a bit fucked up in the head. And if you play it without killing everyone, she's all sweet and butterflies. But if you do it a bit in between, then she's a bit badass, bit not. So it's going to be really, it's going to be really, it's going to be quite interesting to see where they take Emily and what they do with Emily and how she's going to be. Is it going to be where, you know, she's cut up about what happened in the past and about her mum and that she's full of vengeance and anger, or is it going to be more that she's restrained and not like that, and these have taught her a lesson, and I don't know, you know, deep shit, man, deep shit.
still sounds like Taken, except in Dishonored at least.
Except
she might have learnt her lesson.
Let's face it, with Dishonored though, it's not, because the first one was Taken. This one, however, Dishonored 2, it's her this, because she's the Empress now, but she's getting framed for something. So they're basically, again, people are trying to take down the kind of hierarchy and stuff that is in the Dishonored universe, and she has to flee.
It's Rage Against the Machine in Dishonored universe.
she has to like flee Dunwall and escape that, and this is why she ends up in the New South bit of where I can't remember
wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, but you know, people know I can't be asked to look that shit up somewhere. I know it's in the South, but it looks bigger as well. That's another thing. So yeah, I've already said that, but I guess don't know what else more can be said about Dishonored 2. New combat. There's new combat in it. There's new skills and there's
new mechanics.
New mechanics. So yeah, that's going to be fresh and exciting and a bit cool to like have to get your hands around and that. I mean, she does this whole shadow walk thing that looks really fucking good, where you kind of like turn into this monster thing and like, and you can squeeze through smaller gaps and the way like there's specific ways of killing people with that as well, which is quite good. There's a lot.
Right, so is there anything else you'd like to add to Dishonored 2, or does that just about cover it?
Probably, yeah. That's about sums it up, really.
Right, so then summary. As far as the whole conference goes, what's your summary?
It was a good conference. I mean, it
wasn't. It didn't have the same feel as 2015.
No way. I mean, it's not going to anyway, is it? Unless they were releasing Elder Scrolls 6, it's not going to. Like,
well, probably another few years until we get Elder Scrolls 6 announcement.
Placing my bets now. Although this isn't Bethesda related. Tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or the next day. Take-Two Interactive are there, which can only mean one thing: Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Now then, Take-Two is going to be the one to look for. Like, is going to be the one for this year. I reckon is going to take the show. I mean, people already say that Bethesda have kind of stole it at the minute, and they have. I mean, with the whole Skyrim remaster. Although Nintendo
have pretty much stolen the show with their new Zelda game.
Good point. Bethesda had it for a bit. Nintendo has stolen it, but I reckon if Take-Two come on and release Red Dead 2, then that Nintendo...
There might be a remaster for one of the Red Dead games, from what I've heard.
It could be. I mean, I hope not. I hope it's not just a remaster. I really, because they've had a long time now. It's been nearly 5 years since the last Red Dead. So I really hope that they turn around and say, guys, we're working on Red Dead 2. I really fucking hope that they do that. But anyway, my summary of the Bethesda conference was, it was an alright conference. There wasn't anything, major except Quake. I must admit, Quake coming back is quite fantastic. I'm really happy about that. That's a good thing. And Prey looks interesting. But other than that, it's just a bit. It's alright.
Right, so this is our coverage of the Bethesda's E3 conference. Yeah. Next time, which one will we be covering? Who will we be covering next?
I guess we could do EA.
Alright, in that case, next time we'll be covering EA.
So yeah.
If you'd like to close it up.
Yeah, please guys, obviously I'll subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed. And there'll be plenty more leave feedback, leave a comment, tell us what we could do better, what you liked, all that shit. I don't mind. I love the whole criticism thing. Just, don't be a dick. That's probably the best thing to say. And it is YouTube. You know what they're like.
Constructive criticism.
Try not to comment anything too offensive.
Try constructive criticism. That always works best.
Constructive criticism. I think that. It's great. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, check out Samsonite's channel over here, SamsoniteGuiterman. He hasn't uploaded anything in a while, but I'm sure he will.
I'm gonna try to. I'm just not getting motivated, man.
That's crazy, isn't it? He's too busy counting cracks in his ceiling. He's playing cracks in your ceiling simulator.
And searching for jobs.
Yeah, I know that life thing. Ain't it? This life thing, it's great.
Yeah, it's Life Simulator 2016.
Yeah,
you should totally
try
for
that one at E3, guys. Anyway, yeah, love ya.
Bye bye.